we're talking with brewers about the music that inspires them, not in their day-to-day life, although that might be part of it, but in the brewing process.
The idea is taking and infusing multiple concepts in a genre or in multiple genres and creating something new simply by infusing the few.
Right.
And that is exactly what we do with this.
Music is such an important part of the brewing process. We're putting a playlist together of all the brewers that we're meeting this season on the show. What are the bands that you're listening to specifically when you're making beer? Scott, you're the one that kind of gave us the idea for this because you're always posting, like when you're in the middle of making both beer and mead, right?
Right.
You will post what you're working on, and you'll also post what the musical distraction is.
Right.
Those are the terms that you use.
That's kind of my musical distraction, because I don't know, I just always like to find something a little different. I always try to find something different every day. I don't have like one thing that I go to constantly. Sometimes I try to pair it like maybe geographically to what I'm doing. Sometimes, like when I did my Bach, I did the, there's only one choice, and that's Bachman-Turner Overdrive.
Of course.
For that one. But I mean, sometimes if I'm doing like my Oktoberfest, I'll throw on a little polka music or something, but I always try to find something different. I'm kind of all over the range of genres, I guess.
You have a very eclectic musical taste.
Yes, I do.
But it also seems like there's intention in, is pairing the right word? Like pairing the music what you're doing?
It's more my mood of the day. I can't really say that it's, maybe subliminally it's tied into what I'm brewing, but it's normally what I feel like today. If I'm kind of rowdy or if I need something a little quiet, throw a little jazz on there or something. It just really depends on the day.
So the last beer that you made, what were you listening to?
God, the last beer.
I mean, I guess we could just check his feed because he's always
You see, now you're
posting
making me have to think back.
All right. What will the next beer you make be, and what do you think? We're not going to hold you to this, but like, what?
I think the next brew is going to be another batch of sours, and sours are a little funky, so I like to bring out a little funky music. So one of my go-tos when I'm a little worked up is I really like the Red Elvises.
Okay.
It's a Russian band, and so that would probably be my go-to for something like that.
So funky music makes a nice funky
and
sour.
The meters, kind of the old 50s, 60s funk type stuff. I'll throw some of them on there as well.
Well, I'm telling you, it absolutely does make a difference in the beer, and I'm not kidding a little bit about that.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell that the intention is there. Yeah. Even when you're doing recipes, are you inspired by music? When you're putting
I'm usually listening to music. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You always have tunes on.
Pretty much most of the time, when I'm here.
It makes a difference.
Yep.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, no problem.
What kind of tunes do you listen to when you're making your beer?
It's a pretty eclectic mix. Everything from 70s rock to some 90s hip hop. But I would say the dominant, most of the time I'm probably listening to the Grateful Dead.
So Grateful Dead's a big one for you. And,
absolutely.
I mean,
he kind of fits with that. You're
seeing this, right? so my Grateful Dead fan Kyle has a skeleton. He's like, I don't know what that's about. So is there like a Dead song in particular, or an album? Or are we looking like American Beauty? Or
American Beauty is definitely the one that got me hooked. But now I would say it's more live shows.
Do you go to live shows?
I do go to live shows, but I also the Grateful Dead have released 20, 40, dozens of live shows as albums.
Do you have the one where Pigpen was really on that night?
There's so many of those.
I know, right?
That's too many nights to pick.
I don't know. I'll be honest. I'm not a huge fan of the Dead, but I know enough to ask Deadheads about Pigpen, and that's the right answer. So American Beauty inspires you, and then 90s hip hop.
Some 90s hip hop, some Beastie Boys. Obviously, like you mentioned, we did have a series of hazy IPAs a while back that were all inspired by Beastie Boys albums or songs.
Right. Those are no longer available?
Not right now.
Limited. Okay.
We might bring some of them back. I did like some of the recipes, so they'll probably make a reappearance.
Will they still be named after Beastie Boys?
They will be. The ones that are brewed the same will come back with the same name. But honestly, we started to run out of Beastie Boy themed names that we also felt were appropriate for beer names.
Like palatable. Okay, right. So like Hello Nasty Great album, but that might not look good
Doesn't
on a
necessarily inspire you to want to crack a can and
right,
drink
right.
it.
Unless you know that specific reference, you might think to steer clear from that one.
Yeah.
We don't play music.
Don't.
No, we don't. Not while we're brewing.
So you're just
So,
focused.
but when we're doing the cleanup and the fermentation, we do play country music.
So country music is for the harder work, the cleanup, which is
absolutely.
incredibly important.
Yeah.
But when you're actually doing brewing,
Yeah, I think most of the time it's we usually have 2 or 3 people here. So we're talking. A lot of us we don't do this every day.
Right.
We brew probably once every couple weeks. So when we get together, we're catching up.
I see.
Yeah, and in the wintertime we brew a lot more beer than what we do in the summer.
Okay.
We're actually busiest in the wintertime here. But for music, we do listen to country music.
So
And
it's country music.
Yep. Probably.
Any particular artists? Like
Well-
if you were to name 3 artists, if we're putting together a playlist of songs that or 3 artists that when you're at Pecatonica that they're listening to, that the music might have gone in the beer, what would those 3 artists be?
I would say like Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
I would say Gordon Lightfoot.
Hell yeah.
And any mixture of Marty Robbins or anything else from the 70s.
So when country music was actually country music.
Yeah,
is what I'm hearing.
we're getting up there, and
Nice.
sometimes the new country music I just don't understand.
I will drink to that.
But we're listening to 70s music.
It didn't make sense until you said it. This beer tastes like someone was listening to Marty Robbins.
Yes,
And that's
absolutely.
the highest compliment I can pay you.
Just like beer styles. There's so many out there. You can't just drink one style of beer the whole entire life. I mean, you can if you want to. It's no problem with that. But at the same time, there's a wide variety of